Chicago Bears, team you love, obviously. Team
Yes.
that I think you've rekindled with, which is good news and everything. I don't know if there was ever a beef or anything like that, but they are in the middle of an interesting situation right now, right? Going into what is a prove-it year for a lot of people. I think it's a prove-it year for Nagy. I think this is a prove-it year for potentially Mitchell Trubisky and maybe even Pace. I mean, there's a potential full operation happening there. Just 2 years ago, one of the best teams in the NFC. Last year, obviously problematic. What are your thoughts going into, obviously, the drama around a quarterback battle, which I've never seen before? I've never seen like two legit starters before have to battle in camp. How do you feel about going into the Bears season? What are your thoughts on it?
I was confused. So, after season or a month after season, Pace was like, Mitchell's our guy. He's our guy. We drafted number 2 overall. We're going to ride with him. We took a step back last season, blah, blah, blah. But he's our guy. Then like 3 weeks later, they went and they traded for Foles. I was like, what the hell? I thought maybe they're just going to have a really high-priced backup is what I thought. They're just going to have a guy just in case Mitchell gets hurt or something doesn't work out. We're going to have super high-priced backup. And now they're saying that they're both going to battle for the job. I get it. Nick Foles has some good credentials. He came as a good backup there for Philly that 1 year. But I don't know. Their defense is good every single year. Every year. Their defense, you got Khalil, obviously. They got some Hakeem Hicks, Eddie Jackson back there, Kyle Fuller, big-name players. I don't understand the trade for Nick Foles. I like the guy. Nothing against him. Nothing whatsoever. If you talk about keeping a guy at quarterback after you traded up to get him at number 2, probably didn't have to, but you did, and then you trade for a guy. It was confusing to me. And Ryan Pace is a smart guy. Don't get me wrong. He's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. I know Foles played in Kansas City under Coach Nagy, so I get that as well. So I think if you're going to say you're going to stick with a guy, stick with him.
Listen, I don't know your relationship with Mitch. I don't know Mitch that well. He obviously did not play well last year, but to bring in a high-priced guy like that and then say it's an open competition, the state of mind that Trubisky has to be in is so I couldn't even fathom. In the locker room as well now. So now the locker room's in a situation where I brought this up to the boys earlier, and they found it fascinating. Like the defense, okay? Let's say there's some corners that are boys with Mitchell Trubisky, okay? And they accidentally make or slip or something on a Foles play in practice. There's a lot of things that are going to go into this entire there is a lot of feelings that are going to go into not knowing your quarterback's a big deal. That is a big deal, I think, in the NFL that is not being talked about.
All that stuff you just said, I don't think about that stuff.
Okay, good.
I think Mitch, his mindset is going to be, I'm the guy. I think that just after talking to him and seeing his interviews and what he's done his whole career, he's confident in himself. He believes in his ability. 2 years ago, he had a great season.
Great.
They ran the ball well. Last year, took a step back, but I don't think that's all his fault. Their offensive line was banged up. Name one of his receivers besides Allen Robinson that did something. He had no tight ends. They have their running back, Montgomery, I really like. I think he'll be better this year. He'll get some more carries. But if they're healthy up front, I think it's going to help everyone, not just him. If Foles is the guy, Foles will be better as well. But if they stay healthy up front, that's where it starts for me on the offensive side of the football.
You like Trubisky a lot, huh?
I do. Not so much for what he's done on the field, just the way he handles himself, man. I played for 21 different quarterbacks in Chicago. What? Yeah. 21 different starting quarterbacks in my 13 years in Chicago. So when you have a guy who walks to the mic after a game when they win, and all he talks about is the offensive line, the defense, the coaching, the running backs, the receivers, I respect it. When he walks to the mic after they lose and says, I have to play better. I didn't do a good enough job. Never says anyone else has always his fault when they lose. I respect the shit out of that. So when a guy does that, I have a lot of respect for him. So it's hard for me to just give up on him because of one bad season.
I respect that a lot. So sorry to interrupt. If you're a man watching this, you deserve to have long, great. And you can do that now with our friends at Roman. Right now, you go to GetRoman.com. You get $10 off and free 2-day shipping on Roman swipes, which are guaranteed to make you have longer, more fulfilling every time you get in the sack. Now let's get back to the fornicating action.
Ryan, I just wanted to hear your opinion on a guy that you played against a lot in Aaron Rodgers. Can you believe that the Green Bay Packers
are forcing him out right now? They're just forcing him out. Hey, get the hell out of here, Aaron.
Yeah.
Don't care about you.
Give the boot. Dude, when I saw that draft pick, nice quad. You got some big quads too.
Thank you.
Obviously.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Aaron. I was shocked at that draft pick, but you look at they did the same thing to Brett. they drafted Aaron in the first round. Brett still played, 3 more years before Aaron got in there. So, and it's worked out for Aaron pretty well. So what is he, 36, 37 now?
Yeah, 36.
He's getting up. Doesn't look like he's slowing down, though, to me. I mean, he still gets it done. He still puts the ball on. The thing that's amazing about Aaron to me, he doesn't turn the football over. He gets all the pressure. He doesn't have he has good receivers. Don't get me wrong. He has Devontae and a couple other guys. But you look at every year, it's usually all on him. He does not turn the football over, doesn't make bad decisions.
What are your thoughts on, obviously in Chicago, this is a little bit of a sore subject, but Patrick Mahomes just signs for $500 million. That Chiefs
deserved it.
I agree, 100%. This is a baseball contract for the first time in the NFL.
The dude I like seeing guys that get paid who deserve the money, and that dude earned it, deserves it. He is a badass. I'm a huge fan of his.
That offense seems unstoppable. I mean, granted, they struggled early. They struggled early against a couple teams, and there was a lot of people. We talked to Rex Ryan yesterday about it, and I said, "How do you stop that Chiefs offense?" And he said, "Well, if I'm the coordinator, I'm thinking about potentially playing sick like that week. I'm potentially trying to get out of it." But a lot of people started chiming in because the Colts beat them last year, and other teams beat them last year. But that was the beginning of the season, and Patrick Mahomes even came out and said, like, I didn't even understand what a defense was doing until about halfway through the season last year. So they're only going to get better. When you have that many weapons, what the hell do you do, Brian? And
so I know what we would do on defense is play cover 2. That's all we did. You know, when we had a good offense like that, Peyton or Tom Brady or Drew Brees, Aaron, we play cover 2, and we would give up 3, 4, 5 yards of pop, give up the check down every once in a while to his for a long run, but we just played like the bend but don't break. And when we had a chance to blitz, we would if we had a favorable down distance, but. Man, we just played cover 2, and for the most part, we were pretty successful doing that. We just didn't teams aren't patient enough to keep doing the dink and dunk. They get mad. They want to take a shot, and that's when they get to 2nd and 11, 3rd and 12, get them in a bad situation, and you get off the field. So I think we were very patient with our cover 2. We just kept playing it. I didn't always like it, but Lovey was always patient with us in calling cover 2, and we always got pressure with 4 guys. We didn't have to blitz to get pressure. We had good enough guys up front to get pressure with 4.
The Kansas City Chiefs offensive line is very good. They're going to have to keep them together.
Really good.
In 2 years, they got a lot of guys going up that are going to be a lot of money, and nobody knows how they have any of this money that they have that they're paying everybody. So that'll be something that Andy Reid and Veach will have to figure out. Cover 2, though, for people that don't understand, you're basically just keeping everything in front of you. Don't let anybody over top.
You got it, man. Just have your safeties play deep. Keep your middle linebacker down the middle of the field. And hopefully get pressure with 4, but keep everyone in front of you. If you have corners that can get your hand, like we had Charles Tillman, Tim Jennings, Nathan Basher, we had some good corners when I was there that could get their hands on the receivers. So we trusted them, and they also supported the run as well. That's what people don't give Charles Tillman credit for. That dude would come up and hit you in the running game as well.
Tim Jennings was a gunner for me at the Colts.
He was there with you, right?
Yeah, he was a gunner for us. And in practice, he was dominating at corner. They would never put him in. Then he goes to Chicago and makes like 3 Pro Bowls or whatever.
He had like 10 picks one year.
Yes, I think he did.
If I was a receiver, I would hate that. He's so annoying. He's only like 5'9", 5'10", Pat.
Yeah, great
gunner. He just gets up in your grill. He's so feisty and mean, and just he was a really, really good corner for us for 4 or 5 years there. But he won the Super Bowl with you guys, right?
Yeah, before I got there. Thanks, man.
You weren't there that year? Was it Hunter Smith?
Yeah, it was Hunter the punter. He's a country musician now and a Super Bowl champion. Yeah.
You missed out. I'm sorry.
I did, yeah. We lost to Drew Brees, Urlacher. Nick has a question.
Ryan,
okay, sorry. Now you want to change the subject.
Yeah.
Your misfortunes. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Nick.